A quick tutorial on how to use the flood select tool. I've actually got 10% intolerance. You can type it in or you can use the slider, whichever way you want to do that, and then you can just simply click on an area and it will try to select as much as possible, and it hasn't done a bad job at that. Sometimes you've got to be a bit careful about how it selects. So on here, because there's kind of like a bit of a glow, like a reflection of the white on the pear, can kind of make it a bit difficult to get a decent selection, sort of a smoother line. But you can zoom in and try the flood selection tool and left click and pull down, and then see if you can improve. Can you see how it changes? So that you get a kind of a cleaner line on that edge, and then press Command 0 to see what the selection looks like, and that's actually pretty good. So we're ending up at 8% and we're getting a cleaner line on this edge here, and probably on these edges as well. You will have a little bit of white fringing, but the only way to get rid of that is really just to use the erase brush and just erase the white highlight edges, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Now, as you can see, it hasn't actually selected this area, but you can add to the selection. So while this is selected, you can click on this and then see how much of this you can select just by pulling over like that. So now we've got this disconnected piece selected and we've got the white background selected. That's good. So now we can press delete or backspace on Mac, and we've got transparency. So you can do Command D to deselect. But what if you want to see how well that's actually been selected and how well it's actually been deleted, the background? So layer, new fill layer, change the color to a contrasting color, and then drop it below the background pixel there. So as you can see, this has got white fringing around the edge and down here. And unfortunately, there's no real simple way to erase that. So it's erase tool. You can resize the brush with the brackets keys, or you can use Control Option. I'm not sure what it is on Windows, but I'm sure there'll be information on the help file, or someone will know. And then you can move it left to reduce, right to increase the brush size, up to soften the brush, and down to harden the brush, like so. There's also, if you just tap the key, you've got spacing of the brush. If you go left to right, it's the shape of the brush. If you tap again, it's the rotation of the brush. Depends what kind of shape brush you've got. If you tap again, you get back to the hardness and width settings. So once you've actually got that set, I'm going to make that a little bit smaller and zoom in a bit more, like so. And you can, if I go on to the layer that I'm supposed to be on, you can see how much it affects. You can see how it's kind of like choppy when I move it up and down. and that's because of the spacing. If I undo that and I press my Control and Option and then I click, if I get rid of spacing, and I click again and again, and then I soften the brush off a little bit more. We'll see how we... And now we've got a much smoother erase on that edge, like so. I'll just do Command 0. You can already see the difference with the bit I've erased and the bit that I haven't, just there. Just makes a much cleaner line, absolutely worth doing. Looks so much neater and a lot more professional, especially on the darker background stuff. And that's basically it.